Welcome to Dark Corner's Horror Smackdown Round 2. In this round, we're taking a closer look at the bad guys, but we still want you voting for the best or your favourite film overall. Match 46, Freaks versus King Kong.
We didn't lie to you, folks. We told you we had living, breathing monstrosities.
Todd Browning's Freaks is a simple story of manipulation and revenge, and for us, in terms of the bad guy, it is quite interesting. The obvious reading is the reversal of expectations. The title, Freaks, is thrown out in much the same way as other horror films would announce the bad guy. Dracula, the Blob, frogs, Egar. But the freaks of the title are mostly just going about their life in the circus.
Well. Tomorrow night's the big night, eh, Daisy?
Instead, what we find is the trapeze artist Cleopatra manipulating the infatuated Hans into marriage in order to get her hands on his money.
You must come to see me sometime, and we'll have a little wine together.
Pretty standard bad guy stuff, but lacking in horror.
On the head, hit me.
Having celebrated marriage and Cleopatra in a scene as eerie as it is congratulatory,
We'll make her one of us. A loving cup.
We accept her, one of us. We accept her, one of us.
Gooba gobble.
We accept her,
the other freaks soon turn when they discover Hans is being poisoned. Hans, with full knowledge, sets up his new wife and her lover Hercules.
Tonight, they will be ready.
And, during a storm, the other freaks, armed with guns, knives and other sharp-edged weapons, attack. This is true horror, as the disfigured humans close in on their prey, the weather playing pathetic fallacy to their desire for revenge. Freaks survives missing half an hour from its original cut, and by all accounts, these deleted scenes added to the horror of the film's climax. Rather than cutting to black as the freaks approach, we see Cleopatra pinned down and mutilated as her screams for help are drowned out by the storm. A gruesome sequence in which Hercules is pursued back to his trailer and castrated was also removed. It is a unique twist to have the horror element of the film played out against the bad guys, so the unsettling images of the freaks crawling through the mud is not only horrific, but also feels almost justified. For a film considered to be overly exploitative, it's surprising how caringly the so-called freaks are portrayed.
Oh, Slitsy, what a pretty dress. Oh, how beautiful you look tonight.
Perhaps because Browning himself worked extensively in sideshows, carnivals and circuses, he knew the performers as real people with real lives and real emotions. The fallout from the film's box office failure and controversies somewhat echo the film's message. The people Browning had trusted and given everything to turned on him, destroying a career that, a mere year earlier, had given birth to Universal's highly successful horror franchise, with Dracula. Like so many older films featuring scenes that have now become part of the cultural consciousness, King Kong suffers from the foreknowledge that we bring to it. Specifically, there's a reason that the two ill-advised remakes have focused on Kong as victim and even romantic hero.
It was beauty killed the beast.
That's what we take away from the original film. But, crucially, we get that impression from the end of that film. For the bulk of the story, there is no doubt who the bad guy is. From his first appearance, Kong is presented in a way calculated to terrify. Even when he is saving Anne from a pteranodon, she is still trying to get away from her kidnapper. It's easy to say, yes, but he's an animal, he's not evil, he's acting on instinct. He was presented with a sacrifice, he took it. It's not his fault. But this isn't about fault, it's about horror. And Kong rampaging through the native village, or New York, is the source of the horror. Remakes have tried to shift the bad guy hat off of Kong and onto Carl Denham, onto the native islanders, and onto society itself. But in doing so, they do Kong no favours. They merely dilute his towering presence. For the story to work, Kong has to be the bad guy, the beast conquered by love.
The beast was a tough guy, too. He could lick the world. But when he saw beauty, she got him.
If you're looking for a bad guy other than Kong, then perhaps that's it.
Sure, everybody likes romance.
Not love per se, but obsession.
We came here to get a moving picture, and we found something worth more than all the movies in the world.
It is Denham's obsession that drives the film.
It's money and adventure and fame.
The natives' obsession that leads them to kidnap Anne. And Kong's obsession that leads to everything else. After Driscoll rescues Anne, Kong could have just let her go. It's his desire for her that puts him in chains. Let us know your thoughts on these bad guys, and don't forget to vote on the horror film you want to see move into the next round.